command.
Control delete. Control
See, we
delete.
lost the customer already. Oh, you lost your laptop. Okay, that's good. So this one I call it 2 pages, simple edit and confirm, okay? This is what I should have been working on, I'm sorry. I just went too far. I was going like this, something more.
Tell the
So
camera
this
guy.
one, you notice that you have a whole bunch more JSP than we had before.
Yeah,
Last time we only have 2, the index and the other guy, right? So this is more like the actual exam that you just turned into. Okay, so we go into the index right here. You have a form here that calls, one form is called confirm, right? And then the other form, so that's the only form that we have, the confirm. So let's try that. We do a run here. So this is a simple one like we did the other day, tennis, something like that. You go ahead and confirm it. Notice that over here on top, it's got the name of the web page, or the page which is called 2 pages, simple editing and confirm, and you're running the index JSP, right? That's the page we're running. We confirm it, and now the same page, you're running the confirm JSP. You pass in as a hobby tennis, and the button that I pressed was the button called confirm. Right? Do we agree with that?
Yes.
Okay. So now, this looks more like what we needed to do. Okay. So I'm going to show you how to do this with multiple pages using the edit and the process. Okay? So notice over here, you have the confirm here. So you click edit, it gives you this guy here, so you put an S over here. And notice over here that you're running the edit now. You're not running the confirm, you're running the edit. You pass this guy here, and the button that I pressed was the edit button. No problem, right? So now I'm gonna pass this data with a Z there. I'm gonna press a button called confirm. See what happens? So it went to the confirm page. It passed the data with a Z there, and I press a button called confirm. So you're telling the whole world what you're doing inside your program. Okay? Process, the same thing. You're on the same page. You executed the process JSP, passing this data, and you press the button called process. All right, so what we need to do now is how do we hide these things? So there's a section that what we do is we create another JSP called controller, and we give control to that JSP to be able to hide all of these. Okay? We're going to execute the same processes. We're going to execute process and edit, but by looking at this, you're not going to see that. And the reason why that happens, I'll show you the code right now. So this was the confirm page. So we go to the confirm right here. You only confirm. And this is what I was trying to get out of the assignment. You have 2 forms. Form number 1, and then you have a second form. So the top form is going to be executed when you press a button called edit. The second form will be executed when you press a button called process. Right? And if you needed to create a third page, then you create another form section and another button. So, hold on, I did something wrong here. All right, there you go. So this submit button only works for this process JSP. There's another submit button over here. This one belongs only to this one, to this process form. You know, we did something, seems like I did a copy and paste, so we need to close this and reopen it. Save it, no. Save this guy, no. Just reopen it. So we went ahead and we did something here, we did a confirm. We're back in business, we go back over here. So this one only has that confirm. We call the confirm, and we back in business. We have 2 buttons only. Alright, so do we understand these 2 buttons? Alright, and because the different forms, it allows you to do that. It allows you to show all the information. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna use a better way of doing the same thing. And what we do is, we only have 1 form as opposed to 2 forms. And the form that we're gonna call is the form called controller. So by running that one, the only thing you're gonna see on the address book, on the address line is this controller. You're not gonna see the edit, you're not gonna see the confirm, none of that. You're only gonna see this guy here. And I'll show you that from here. So this one was the regular ones that we've been using with the 2 forms, okay? This one is the new way. So I have the same data. I go ahead and notice over here it says confirm, right? So we're sitting in the confirm guide. And now I go ahead and say, okay, edit it. Notice that the confirm is gone. What you have now is the controller. The controller DSP, yep, he knows that you have a hobby. This is the name of the hobby. He knows that you press the button on edit. Okay? So we're gonna modify this here and we're gonna say something more like that. And we're not editing, we're gonna go ahead and confirm it. So notice that you didn't confirm again with the new data here. Now let's process it. The process should give us the JSP code process, right? So that's what's gonna run. But there's no process here. It's executing the process page, but over here the command on the address line, there's nowhere there to be found that you're actually using the process JSP. Is that a little confusing? No? So if we do the edit, same situation. I'm using the edit JSP, but you don't see that over here in the line. Right? As far as the user knows, you only have 1 JSP code controller. When in fact you're actually running all the JSPs that are different. So the code for that guy is very simple. This is the whole code. So let's see who can spot where the problem is, where the difference is.
The action.
The action, you call it the controller, right? Now there's something else that is different here. You notice that over here there's no data at all. The only data is this guy here, which was the input. But over here in this section, there's no data being passed. You don't see any data here. The reason is that there is a new command that we haven't seen here, which is on the type of data. The type of data in this one is called hidden. Okay? So when you pass it, it's nothing, you don't see it on the other page. It's being passed, but it's not being displayed. Yes, sir?
Question, in order to use the controller, do you have to use the type hidden or can you use text?
Text. But let me put the text over here as opposed to hidden and let's see what the difference is. Okay, so let's look at this one before we see it. So right now I'm putting, and instead of hidden, on this section, I'm making it text, right? Ready? Ready, Freddy? Run it. Actually, all I needed to do was an F5 over there, but that's fine. Okay, so let's say that one there, confirm it. When you don't put it hidden, this gets created. Text box gets created, you see the data. Okay? Yes, sir.
Another question.
Yeah.
Controller. On the controller itself, when you're creating the controller, you have to do a JSP for the controller and a Java and HTML?
That's what we're gonna see right now. Let me close over these guys here. This one here. So let's go to the code. So this is the one that you want to see, right? Because you're very familiar with the confirm and the edit and the process. The only one that is different is this guy here. And what is this guy? This is a JSP. But what is this?
Java.
Java. So you can actually have Java, you don't have to have a servlet to have Java. You can have Java inside the JSPs. Go ahead.
Okay, I understand it. I understand that you can have Java coding within the JSP, but according to the book, it says that you didn't want to have the Java coding within the book, within the JSP, that you needed to create a separate servlet.
Yeah, that's.
Because it was all, and according to you too, because it's
Right.
all Java,
Right.
it's all Java, then you shouldn't have it in a JSP, you should have it in HTML.
No, he recommends that. He recommends that if, the rule of thumb that he's using is that if you have in Java, use servlets for Java, and if you have a mixture, you can do it on the JSP, but he prefers mostly HTML on JSPs.
So which one is the safer way, or not the easier way, but the safer way to do it on this particular method? Just to do it at JSP and just insert the code, or do the
Well,
HTML?
what's the difference in this guy? This one, this code that we're looking at,
Mhm.
and the other one that we looked, that he had a servlet in there, you see the difference in this guy?
No, sir?
There's no class here. There's no imports,
Oh,
right? So this is a lot easier to do,
well,
right? Because it automatically, I don't know how it does it, but automatically gets all of the inputs that it needs. You don't have to create a class, none of that. The code itself is exactly the same code as the other one,
mhm.
okay? You had an address here, a string address, I initialized it with hello, and I printed this guy here, and then it goes and checks whether the button that you pressed was this one, then you load that JSP, or the other one, or the other one. And then the request is the same. You're requesting from a dispatcher, that was the name of the method that you created there. Method? Object, right? So it's exactly the same as the other one. So just like in everything in programming, you get a lot of options to use, so it's up to you what options you like the best. He recommends that one, to split it up. So as far as he's concerned, this should be in servlet as opposed to be in a JSP. But this example, I got it from his website. Yeah.
Okay. The reason I keep asking is because I want to make sure that I get a good grade. So I want to make sure that I turn in the code that how you want to read it. So do you want to read the code however we implement it, or to put the Java and HTML and JSP, how you've been teaching this stuff?
Right. Actually, just like on the Java classes, you get like you open in a file, right? Okay. Or the printer statements, whichever one works for you best.
Oh.
As long as you get the job done properly and it's clean and it's efficient, if you want to do it this way, you want to do it, and that's what happens in real life, okay? It's kind of like driving. Okay. Questions on this?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Can we please look again on the Google page?
And Google page.
Yeah. And if we click on edit,
This guy here?
yeah, right there on edit.
This area or this area?
No, that one?
This one?
Yes, please. Oh, okay. Because I thought, I was practicing with the hidden, and I noticed with the hidden, that if I clicked edit, I would go back to that page and the name would still be there, but if I wouldn't use hidden, then it wasn't there. It would go to another page. I thought it had to do with hidden.
No. The hidden, exactly what it does is, like in this case, we changed these from hidden to text. So it created this text box, and it's actually showing the text that you transferred. If you hide these, then you can't see this data being transferred. Either way, with the hidden or the text, the data is being transferred through here, okay? But if you hide it, you're not gonna see it over here.
Okay.
You're only gonna see it up on top over here. Then we put that back to where it's supposed to be. That was the controller, wasn't it? Was it the controller? Was it confirmed? It wasn't the controller, it was this guy. Okay. So this guy is here. Okay, someone who's not here tonight asked me a question about this that is down here. And so I'm gonna show it anyway because it's already there. this down here, you have a regular text box, 2 text boxes, right? So this one is quite long, right? I don't know, like 40 characters there. And I go ahead and start typing 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow, I can only put 1, 2, and 3. Even though I have all this space here. Then the other one here looks like very short, but I can put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I guess a 10. So you notice that this one goes over to the right and to the left. So this one is limited to whatever space. So he was asking me if there was a way to control the size of the data that you put in there. And the answer is yes. And how do you do that? Very simply by the same thing that we have been using. All you need to do is add 2 more fields in there. Remember we had the type, text, the name, same thing. So this one, it says max length. So the first one, I told it to only accept 3 characters, and the second one, I told it to accept 10 characters. Even though the size of the text box, in this case, is 35, but I'm only accepting 3 numbers. So that could be used like for passwords, right? And you only want to accept the maximum of so many characters, or names, or whatever. So that's what you use it for. The other thing that I was trying here and it didn't work was the alignment, because the alignment on these guys, even though it doesn't give you any errors, that alignment would work with either plain HTML, not in JSP, or with CSS forms, right? So we'll see that later on. So what I wanted to show you is that even if you have the code, it doesn't give you an error, but it's not going to execute. Any questions on this? It's okay? All right, some people wanted to ask me about the WARs, the WAR. So the WAR, what you do is, I believe it's on run. Is it on run? Or
Clean project.
Properties. So you go to run, clean, and then
Clean.
build. Yeah.
All right, so you do that, and then what happens? You have to
Check
check
in the
Where
folder
it's
with
more.
it, you know, your,
DIST.
files,
with the file is,
Yeah.
okay. So how do I know where this file is at? I mean, I don't
DIST.
see.
look in your, hard drive.
Okay, any other way of doing that?
You can right click properties and see where it is on your directory.
Exactly. So I went to the web pages, right click properties. Now I know that that guy was saved right here where it says NetBeans projects and then 2 pages. So hopefully the distributed folder with the work guides should be there. Think of there. So NetBeans, right? And the name of that was 2 guys or something to that effect. And then inside,
But it's,
it's not there.
I'll go back, build. Yeah.
I would do a search on the start and just go the name of the program or Word.
There's no start on it.
You have chapter 2 set as your main
Yeah, right
site.
here?
Button now.
No, let's see, so it's something called OK, that's the command on this guy. And we want something that ends on,
War.
.war.
I can't see.
.org.
Here.
Dot war.
Shift
This
A.
guy here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Period, or,
R.
and that's probably in lowercase. Oh man, we're gonna have a bunch of them. We got from La Rosa,
Yeah, right there. La
okay.
Rosa.
Rodriguez.